What's up YouTube, Capital G here, reshooting this video because I do believe I messed up on my opinion with this card. I'm not changing my opinion on this card's playability or how good it actually is, because I don't think it's a very good card, and I don't think that it's what Yosenju's needed. But in the title, I put the, the fact that I believe that it made a lot of sense for Yosenju's to get a rank 4 because all of the good monsters are basically level 4. I was like, that's kind of like the natural progression, but I think I conveyed it in a way that I was kind of pushing my opinion on everyone else, and everybody's like, well, I didn't want to rank 4. And it's like, okay, I completely understand that. But if you think that I'm going to change my opinion that this card is somehow good, then you're just absolutely wrong. I guess you're just going to have to dislike the video because you're upset that I'm not going to call every single card good. And I'm just not going to do that. I'm not going to change my channel and start calling every bad card good just for the sake of pandering to fans of that archetype. I do not believe Yosenju Divine Mountain Winds is a very good card. I don't think it's what Yosenju's needed at all, because I think that it makes you run suboptimal versions of Yosenju. These are just straight facts. These are not opinions. So, take off your pom-poms if you're like a Yosenju fan. If you look at Yosenju's and you look at the competitive versions, I'm not even talking about like a year. I'm talking about like this format. This is from September. This is from a Philadelphia Regionals just a couple of months ago. Like, show me a version that runs dieback. Show me a version that runs the double scales. Like, there's no need to, because you're inherently making the deck worse. Like, Yosenju's work best as a level 4 stunish type deck. With things like Card of Demise and Pot of Duality, you're not going to be doing a whole lot of special summoning anyway. So the whole pendulum side and summoning, that's not even optimal, because a lot of times you can't special summon anyway. So for anybody who didn't see the card, it's called Yosenju Divine Mountain Winds. I think it's weird that Yosenjus are even getting more support, because in the anime, the character Sawatari doesn't play Yosenjus anymore. It honestly never made sense for Yosenjus to have pendulums to begin with. The only reason Yosenjus even have pendulums is because of the continuity of the anime and the manga. It says if you control no monsters, activate one of these effects. Also, for the rest of the turn, you cannot special summon monsters except Yosenju monsters. Neither one of those conditions or drawbacks is really a problem, because we all know Yosenjus are they're pseudo spirits. They bounce back to the hand. A lot of times they don't give you any type of field advantage unless your opponent like negated them with a Fiendish Chain or a break sword or something, like, not a break sword, but a fog blade or something like that. And not being able to special summon, again, not that big of a problem. A lot of Yosenju players would rather not rank 4. They would rather, just let their monsters bounce back to their hand, so that, things like Drowning Mirror Force are live. Plus, again, there's the whole Card of the Demise angle and Pot of Duality angle. The two effects are, you can either add a level 5 Yosenju monster from your deck to your hand. Okay. So basically, I get to add the worst monsters in the archetype to my hand. Yippee. Like, what? Just, again, show me, for anybody who thinks that's a great effect, like, show me a Yosenju build that runs the level 5 monsters that is done good. I know builds from like locals, I'm talking regionals and higher, like regional ARG YCSs. Like, you won't find them because those monsters aren't good. They're not as good as Kama 1, Kama 2, Sujin, so why even run them? And then the effect number 2, you get the L scale and the R scale. You put them in your pendulum zones, but you destroy them during your opponent's next end phase. This effect is the better effect of the two. The problem is, number 1, it's an inherent neg 1, because your skills are gonna blow themselves up. And then number 2, like, all it really accomplishes is summoning dieback. But okay, what? Like, so basically you're going to run the L and the R scales, which are already unnecessary in the best versions of Yosenju's. Then you're going to run dieback, and then you're going to hope that dieback wins you the game, because your skills are going to blow themselves up. So it's not like you're going to be able to do this play over and over and over again, because your skills aren't going to be there anymore. And dieback bounces itself back to your hand anyway. So you had better kill your opponent that turn. And if you think dieback is that important, just run things like Dark Hole and Regeki. It'll accomplish basically the same exact thing. Like, if you're running all this inconsistent clutter just to summon dieback, like, just run better cards. Like, just run Dark Hole, just run Regeki, just run Kaiju Interrupted Slumber. Like, that's another Regeki right there if you just want ways of clearing the board. Like, this card basically makes you run inconsistent cards to, I guess, go for gimmicky plays. Like, not that dieback is a terrible card, it's just dieback is an unnecessary card. It makes your deck worse. It makes your deck inconsistent. Like, if Yosenjus are going to get more high level pendulum or high level monsters that are going to be super good and we just don't know about them, then yeah, I'll change my opinions on this card. But we don't know about those cards yet. I'm just going to talk about this card with the card pool that we obviously know about. So, I mean, I'm not really changing my opinion on this card. I don't think it's good. If you can explain to me why you believe it's good and why you believe it'll be the optimal version. But if you're going to say, well, hey, Cap, I get to run dieback now. Okay, so like these versions are better than the dieback versions. So why are you inherently, if you're just talking about non-competitive, okay, then I'm all with you. If you're talking about from a non-competitive angle, if you just really like to play dieback and you want to summon it and you want to play a pendulum version of Yosenju, knock yourself out. But I'm just strictly talking about from a competitive stance, from like regionals and up, this will be a suboptimal version unless something drastically changes, like Konami just gives Yosenju's a colossal makeover. And another reason I don't like this card is it makes you run all of those cards that inherently aren't that great for the deck. Like if you look at other cards out of the dimension box, like Ostinato and Kaleido Chick, like they don't make you run other bad cards. Like they basically are just, you know, those are cards that you splash in, you don't have to change how your deck runs at all. They just make the deck inherently better and more consistent. And that's what I wanted for Yosenju's. Like they literally could have given them anything else. They could have given them a card that maybe lets you draw to so that you can get more of your power traps. They could have given them a card that like gets 2 Yosenju monsters out of the graveyard, because Yosenju have a terrible recovery game. I mean, if you summon like 3 Yosenjus and you get like Torrential or Mirror Force, you basically just lose the game. Like Yosenjus have no way of recovering. They could have given, I could think of probably 10 cards in, I don't know, a half an hour that would have been better than this, because I don't think this card inherently works how Yosenjus operate best. That's really just the period point blank of this video. This makes you run a different version of Yosenju, and history has proven that those versions just don't top. They're just not as good. So anyways, if you guys agreed or if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up. And you know what, for anybody who doesn't agree, just state your argument in the comment section, but don't use it off of, well, this Yu-Gi-Oh! Side was good, so okay, but why is it good? Because dieback is not like the best way of running Yosenju. So like, what are we even talking about? Give me some actual hard evidence with any type of tournament results, because I'll challenge you on that until I guess the cows come home. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already.